Alright, hey there. Welcome to the 1000 subscribers special. This is Rodimus here. I didn't get a chance to really do any rehearsing or anything, so I just went on ahead and decided to just hop right into it and just be honest with myself. And while I have some clarity and go over some highlights that I wanted to mention for the 1000 subscriber video that I was making here. Originally, I wanted to do a lot more, or put more detail into it, like what I did with the 600, the 700, 800, and the 900 one that had passed, I think, last year or a couple years back. But with a lot of stuff going on and my work schedule changing, I decided to go on ahead and just take a completely different approach to the 1000 subscriber video and just kind of make it a little bit more personalized. That way I can thank you guys, the viewers, in helping me to get where I'm at right now and where we go from here. So, first, when I first started gaming, I was originally not a gamer, I was a writer. I'd written a story years ago that I was hoping to try and have made into a book about the journey that I have in playing video games competitively and how I want all this to eventually accumulate to something. It's, hang on. If I can't, I'll just see if I can show you. The title I had for this was The Promising Entertainment Master of the Future, if that's visible. Or I gotta use a different camera lens in order to show what it looks like. Because this is the cover of it on my Yu-Gi-Oh! Album that I had back when I was playing Yu-Gi-Oh! Competitively for so many years. And all that stuff. That was that's the pricing plan that I had for all that shit. But anyway, I had written a story years ago about a dream in wanting to play video games professionally, trying to be among the best, like the best at what I do. I wrote that story out of high school originally. Then I took it with me to college until complications happened being at college and juggling writing, trying to find early work, and life affairs. And it was just like a really weird imbalance that I had to find neutral ground for somewhere. And so after complications in life had passed by, and it became a matter of picking up the pieces at that point, I just started setting up my channel from Google Plus to slowly take gaming to the next level. For those that have been with me on the journey, Google Plus was originally where I started a lot of my early foundation before I had the Rodimus Prime 86 channel. There's very few people that are still around now from those years, but for those that have stuck around for the ride, I do thank you. It has paid off in the long run. It took us a good 6-ish, 7 years, but we got it. We got it done. And then while I wrote mainly about progress achieved from video games across the Game Boy Advance, the Nintendo DS, the PlayStation Portable, PS2, and PS3 all together in like a rotation, depending upon what challenges there were to do, or the secret bosses to find and defeat, and completing 100% of a game as fast as possible. This was all accumulated in the story that I was writing for many years. I don't have the written copy of it, but I do have a digital copy of it that I had saved on my laptop for quite a long period of time. But that's something I can probably go over in later segments, or something I can vote on maybe on Twitter or Facebook if people want me to vocally go over a lot of that stuff. I can honestly put my story as an idea for future videos, and then it's something that can also be read as I read it back in those times. There's something else I want to try and go over, but I gotta think. Okay, so in here on under my desk is all the games here that I have before for PlayStation 2, PlayStation 3, and a few for PlayStation 4. It's a pretty good handful of them. Some of them have been featured before on my channel. Others I have yet to actually have the time in which to do so. And a few of them I can make follow goals in order to potentially show them all. If you guys wish, at one point I can make it a goal to sit and go over all the different games that I have in here. And then if any of them stand out to you or that you wish to see, then I can make them future live streams. Not so much let's plays, but I can make them live streams. That way they can be interactive sit-downs and gameplays that we can sit. I go and do the stream stuff either on Twitch or probably YouTube. That's an idea I'm pitching out there. But if it sounds like a good one, let me know in the comment sections down below. If any of these games that you do wish to see. Next, I want to take time here to go over the Transformer games. I'm putting this right now on my past spread that I had back when I was playing the Yu-Gi-Oh! Trading card game. I won this Yusei mat in a money match years ago, playing Yu-Gi-Oh! For the region. I want to take time to pay good respect to the Dark of the Moon and Fall of Cybertron and War for Cybertron. I have them both in the same case, in case you guys were curious all these years. Because I did have the case for War for Cybertron originally, but it got broken years ago. And so when I went to get a replacement for the disc and for the case, I just asked for a general, like a slit or something that they give you, that GameStop gives you. And I just kept it I kept them both together. That way they both would generally be together whenever I go to play one, then I can go to play the other one. And I just keep them both in the same case. That way I always know where they both are. And then Dark of the Moon, I believe, should also be here with COD Ghosts. I don't know why Ghost is here. There we go. And COD Ghosts, you go over here. You guys know Call of Duty was featured on the channel years ago before I stopped playing that. But I want to sit and just pay a good tribute to these games, because I have everything that I have now on YouTube because of these 3 video games. Okay. Thank you. Alright, and so like the rest of my games that are here in my collection, they too are also going to be added to the collection. They earned it. That way they can sit and chill with the rest of my collection, as they should. I'll keep it right here with Injustice. Alright, so to go over next, I'm trying to go over another couple of projects here, and then I think that should cover it. I'm going to go into more of what I was originally doing before I became a gamer, before I was Rodimus Prime. And, like I said, before I was a gamer, I was a writer. I spent a lot of time writing about how I wanted to originally accomplish this dream before I had the money and the means to get better internet than having dial-up, because dial-up was what I had the past 15 years or so before 2015 when we moved here and then we were able to finally secure Verizon Fios, and so I was able to get like godlike internet. I spent a lot of time writing about how I wanted to be the best gamer here in Maryland, and then I also spent time clipping notes and things from various different video games that had come out through the years, either be in popular video games or one-trick ponies, or even controversial video games. I kept notes of them all because I wanted to use these all for something I was working on later on down the line. That said, I was working towards trying to be something of a video gaming activist. So if I spend a lot of time playing video games, then I can associate myself with a lot of different elements in the video gaming scene, in the gaming communities, all the different gaming communities. There would come a time, though, where I'd probably be getting too old, or I go through all this trouble to try to get my dream accomplished, only to not get anywhere at all. So I have something that I put in mind, so I'd still be in video gaming, but I wouldn't be doing it competitively anymore because I wouldn't be able to have the time or the strength or the stamina to actually continue sustaining personal training in order to stay on top of all the video games like what I'd be doing, like what I'm doing now, or these days anyway. And so I had it in mind in order to take notes of a lot of important or controversial video games through the years and kind of create myself a personal template on how to become a video gaming activist. Because there's nobody in the world who's doing that shit right now. Everybody rather just kill video games or let the shit fall by the wayside. Gaming theorists really aren't video game activists. They just more so just put a spotlight to all the pros and cons of gaming. But when the time calls, I don't see them probably picking up anything positively or negatively because they don't completely have that platform in which to do so. Or any type of legal platform to cover this particular element of entertainment. Let's see here. These are also notes that I've taken from years ago, back in the glossary of terms for different legal matters and elements that I took for Supreme Court cases. And I use these as elements from the Morrow, Madison, McCulloch, Plessy and Ferguson, Brown and Rowe. What else was there? There's Gideon and Wainwright, Miranda, Tinker and Des Moines in New Jersey. And I just used the general 8 constitutional court cases as a guiding light to give me an idea on a lot of the future video gaming controversies that come out or have happened in the world. Some that nobody even knows about because they weren't made known or public like that, even though it's a pressing legal matter that has happened with a lot of popular gaming corporations through the years, like Nintendo, or Bandai, or Activision, or Square Enix, or Enix, back when they were called Enix in the late 1980s, early 1990s, before they shifted the name brand to Square Enix. There's a lot of different stuff, and so I kept notes of all these different things here that could help me later on down the line when I want to do more with video gaming, but not be a video gamer anymore, or I can't be one physically anymore. Alongside that writing and doing this on the side, I kept myself in personal projects busy after all that crazy crap happened throughout life. And so I went on ahead and continued my work, and this is what I was doing with my original, one of my best friends, who was technically one of the guys who helped me originally found my channel years back. And it was something that we wanted to try and go into together. And then I spent years writing, playing video games, completing a lot of video games back to back. That's part of how I have so many different platinum trophies on that one account. So I do the best I can to make sure that I keep that account, my Rodimus account, at all costs. If I lose that, then I lose everything I have. And I kept that up with my friend until he passed away back in 2015. This is from the service years ago. And I keep this with me always because he stays inspiring me to keep working towards what I'm working on, even when not a lot of other people want to support what I do or support my dream of trying to solidify the gaming ideology that I wrote and the work that we worked on together through the years in trying to realize that dream and realize that work. That way it would make a better platform for gamers all over the world. Maybe. I also have him featured in some of my work. As old as this has been, I still do keep a lot of him in my work. There's some playlists dedicated to him on my channel. Some music that I listen to that's in there, and a couple of elements also in the Discord that I created recently in 2018, 2019 that also have pieces of him in there. And so I take him with, he's always with me. So I'm never truly alone when I go in to do my work. And these are just things that I used to do before I came here. When he passed, I lost the will to keep writing my story. I spent time writing that story about how I wanted to be the best gamer and all that stuff for years. I spent time writing that as a kid up until, what was this, 2014? Up until around holidays of 2014, I just couldn't write it anymore. Then the time came later on around January 2015 or so. I kind of let myself be more involved in gaming at the time in order to try and have something of an outlet to turn my focus elsewhere once I was able to get my head back on straight. And that's when my journeys through the early Destiny crap and Transformers and Call of Duty and Borderlands and Kingdom Hearts all kind of went through. They just kind of muddled together, and so whatever I felt like doing that day is what I essentially did. And that's how I ended up in those various communities and all those stories that were told. When the channel first came to be in 2015, the first thing I did, I wanted to make sure I made notes to myself to make sure to honor Patrick. Because the idea in wanting to take video games so far, I wouldn't have done without the work we originally set up here, all those years ago back at the house, back when he was living. I still keep all the stuff here, so eventually I can go on ahead, once I have more knowledge and I guess more of a comfortability and acceptance of all of the accomplishments that I can or seek to accomplish in life through video gaming, I can take that with me into the next plateau in hopefully trying to establish being a video gaming activist and keep a good thing going. And these are those are obituaries of other people that have passed away that I also would have liked to share my work with, but they are also no longer with me anymore. And so again, I keep all of them with me, and I just add their inspirations to my ideology that can hopefully help me keep going. Where I go next in the gaming scene, I'll cover that in future documentations. But before we go forward, I wanted to take time here in the 1,000 subscriber special to appropriately talk about where my channel came from, where the channel of Rodimus Prime came from, how I was writing before I became a gamer, how Number 7Z and Patrick tried to go into more work here, Patrick passing away, and then after his death, and me and John tried to continue the idea until John, Number 7Z, he moved away, and then it basically just became me operating the channel. He's also featured in some of my work, and so I can also feature a link to his channel and to his stuff. He doesn't post anymore, or he's not around anymore, but his link and his stuff is also still in my work. It's still around. For any questions, comments, or concerns in where we're going next in the journey, just post them down below. I posted earlier. Well, no, I didn't post, but I had the earlier segment where I showed you the stuff in the box. So, in a future goal or something, if you'd like to see any of those things or for future content, or you'd like to see or hear my writing that I've done before I was a video gamer, all the writing with my story before I discontinued writing my story, I can do that too. I can make that a sub goal. The choice is all up to you, viewers. All you have to do is just comment down below what you'd like to hear or what you would like to see me do next within reason, and see if we can't try and keep this going. I'll catch you guys in the next video out there. And as always, till all are one.